And I think we can agree on that. And if I could go back and tell myself one thing on my wedding day, it would have nothing to do with the honeymoon. It would be that we don't stay married by feeling in love. We stay married by fighting for love. And that's every single day, even on days where we may not feel like there's anything left to fight for. We continue to fight for love. That's because marriage is a daily choice. It's not a one-time vow. And I think it's easy for us to feel like once we say, I do, it's easy for us to feel like love is automatic. But the hard truth is that you have to wake up each and every day and choose your spouse. You have to choose to be married to your spouse. You have to choose to put them before you, to give 110% into your relationship. And that's even through the tough times. That's through the days that you're fighting, through the days where it just doesn't feel like your flame is burning as hot as it used to. You still have to wake up and choose marriage, because marriage, just like all relationships, are a choice. And if both of you are waking up and choosing marriage and choosing to put each other in front of the other, then your marriage is going to be rock solid. Now, I'd also tell myself that don't skip the little things, because the little things become the big things, especially when you avoid doing the little things. The little things could be something as simple as sending a text during the day, asking your spouse or your significant other, how are you doing? How are you feeling? I'm thinking about you. Just thinking about you. I want to tell you that I love you. The little things like that. When your spouse walks through the door at the end of the hard day, you ask them how their day was, and you don't just ask them. You ask them with the intention of actually listening to what they have to say. Be that ear for them to vent to. Because sometimes at the end of a hard day, that's all you want. All you want is to be able to vent and somebody to hear you, to actually listen and empathize with you. So it's those little things that you can do that build up to be the big things. The little things in your relationship are actually the glue that will hold your marriage or hold your relationship together. And if you avoid doing those little things, it's also the things that are going to build up to those big bombs that just completely destroy your relationship. So do not neglect the little things. They are the glue. Another thing I would tell myself is do not avoid conflict. Conflict is not the enemy, but the silence and avoidance of conflict, that is detrimental, because it's those silent cold wars that will kill a marriage. It will kill a marriage. Just think back to the last time you got in an argument and your spouse wouldn't talk to you. They gave you that cold shoulder. It doesn't feel good. That's actually one of the biggest relationship killers, is a lack of communication. And that's essentially what you're doing. If you're avoiding the conflict, you're avoiding communication. That's an opportunity for you to grow together, because it's those tough times where you learn so much about your significant other that you would have never learned otherwise. It's those hard conversations that we sit down knee to knee, heart to heart, and we have with our significant other, with our spouse, where we truly learn so much about them. Because during the day-to-day conversations that we have, we usually only scratch the surface level stuff. It's just the stuff that we give each other that gets us by to the end of the day until we wake up and do it all over again. But it's those hard conversations that we have, the heart-to-hearts, where we truly learn who the other person is. Those are so important. So do not avoid the confrontations. Do not avoid those hard conversations that we must have with each other to really grow together. And lastly, and this is an important one, stick with me, guys. This is a really important one. You're not always going to feel it. And especially relationships and marriages that last decades or years, we all know there's going to be tough times. And there's going to be times where we're just not feeling it. We're not feeling that hot flame that we might have once felt. that we felt on our wedding day or when we were dating and things were hot and passionate. You know, life happens. We're all humans, we're all people, and sometimes that flame cools down and we're just not feeling it. But I would go back and tell myself, even in those times where we're not feeling it, and we have that selfish pride, that ego, and we're cooling down ourselves and pulling ourselves away from the relationship, don't do that. Push yourself closer to the relationship. Feed that love. That's the point where your love, your relationship needs the most nourishment. It needs the most watering. It needs the most food. So feed your relationship more when that flame feels cooler, when you're just not feeling the love like you used to. Because I promise you, if you keep feeding the relationship and feeding your marriage, the other person is going to notice that. And what are they going to do? They're going to start feeding the marriage and the relationship as well. Before you know it, you're in the best times of your life. And that's why some of the best times of your life follow some of the worst times. Because sometimes it takes that chaos, it takes that turmoil to realize what is needed in that marriage or that relationship. So when things feel off, when things feel really down, it feels like you guys are pulling away from each other, that's when you have to feed it the most. Okay, really let these things sink in, because if you're in a marriage or a long-term relationship or any kind of relationship, I really think that some of these points could really, really help you out. It could really help us all to remember these points, to reset and go back to the way we felt when we first met that person. Because we fell in love with each other at that point, and sometimes we stray away from that, and we just need to reset and just remember who we were at that moment. And it's okay to grow, but just grow together. Always put the other person before yourself. Wake up each morning and choose the other person. Because if you want to stay in that relationship or in that marriage, that's what it takes. You need to choose and put them first. You need to both put in that 110%, not 50%, 110% each. And watch your relationship and your marriage grow into something so wonderful. I hope you found this message inspiring. If you did, watch this one right here. I think you're going to love it.